Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. So we're continuing the rush, I suppose, of the 80th anniversary merchandise. This here is the Metal Collection Percy, who I have been good and not unboxed until I made this video. You should be very proud of me. It's taken a lot to resist not unboxing him for almost the week that he has been in my house. What are we waiting for? Let's do it. Here we have Percy's packaging, and I have managed to keep him in the packaging, unlike some other engines, which I have recently reviewed. Again, as I talked about in the Thomas video, I don't think they're making it clear enough that this is a different variety of Percy. Again, the 80th is good, the CGI Percy is good, but I think classic Percy or 80th Percy even would have been better to make it really, really clear, or a different colored backing, like rather than the blue, maybe we could have swapped the colors, something, because I think there's going to be a lot of confusion both trying to buy this online or trying to get this for a family or a friend member, which is likely to happen because of the way these are packaged. And again, unfortunately, as with Thomas, no exciting branding on the back and no fun barcode. I don't know why they didn't lean into the barcode on the back of these like they did with the Trackmaster engines. Anyway, let's crack Percy open and take a look. Here is a look at Percy and his little face. I tried to zoom in so it's a bit easier to see versus Thomas. There you go, that's in focus. It's a cute little face, but I'll talk about when I compare him to Thomas very briefly. His pupils are just huge. He doesn't look like CGI Percy. He looks like a weird hybrid between this and All Engines Go, just with how big those pupils are. I think, again, they're probably 20% larger than they should be, and that means that he looks like he's got puppy dog eyes, which, again, why did they do that when they made the rest of him look so good, and yet his face looks kind of derpy. Anyway, we come to the buffers. Again, we do have painted buffers on the front, which is nice to see. Whoop. I'm going to keep him in focus. Turn him around to the side. Again, you can see we've got all of the nice Percy details here on the side. And camera's on focus. Including the spring here and the toolbox, which are things which were not all on the Trackmaster 4 version of him. We do have some rivet detailing along here, but again, it's really random. Like, why is it around the cab like that? I don't know what's going on there. Have the number 6, and I didn't notice it as much on Thomas because I think Thomas's is less egregious, but this 6 is just way too big. It's too big and it's weirdly stylized, which again would make sense if this was meant to be a stylized toy, but aren't they apparently trying to go for realism? Or, well, realism is the wrong word, but accuracy to the show, isn't that the whole point? Yeah, it's a bit confusing, isn't it? We have the coal bunker detail printed there, but unfortunately it doesn't go around the back, which is a little bit unfortunate. We do have the black painted roof, which is nice, and then we have the coal here, and I said that Thomas's coal didn't look great, but Percy's coal looks terrible. Like, what even is that supposed to be? But anyway, we do have the printed boiler bands, which is nice, and again, it's nice to see we do have the actual gold plastic whistle, and also the dome, and you can actually see that inside the cab. There's that gold piece that kind of runs through the inside of the engine. And again, we do have an open cab, so someone smarter than me will probably be able to take that apart to fit driver, fireman, something like that in there. Coming to the side again, we have the same wheels as Thomas, the new style of wheels, and we do have the connecting rods here as well. Again, a little shorter piece. It's only got, you know, just a little bit there. Again, I think that looks pretty nice. It's a different look, sure. It's something a bit different, but I'm glad to see them doing it. Come to the bottom. You can see we've got Percy's name. And then again, come to the back end. Yeah, so hang on. Percy. Yep, okay. So Percy has back printed buffers, but Thomas did not. Okay, it's really weird. Percy also does, again, have that slant to him. Again, you can see that most clearly on the back. But again, he doesn't have a back lamp, but he does have printed buffers. So yeah, let me do some comparisons because I think they're going to start to help us understand a bit more about this little Percy. So when comparing Thomas and Percy, they almost don't look like they're from the same range, and I say that for a couple of reasons. The first is because, yes, they both have the slant, but as I said, Thomas's number looks very much like it does in the show, if perhaps it's a tiny bit too large, whereas Percy's doesn't even look like it's in necessarily the same font for some reason. The faces, Thomas's face, I didn't like the eye placement, but it's definitely a CGI face. Whereas look at Percy's pupils. Like, Percy's eyes are small, like his pupils are bigger than Thomas's for really no reason. So that to me is extremely, extremely weird. We look at the back. I mean, the coal detailing is just totally different. Like, why is it like that? And then we come to the back, and again, you can see we've got a lamp on one, not on the other, but then we've got no printed buffers and printed buffers. Like, there's just, I don't understand at all. But there's these little things which are inconsistent. And I mean, for example, Percy doesn't have his lamp, but Thomas has his lamp. Like they clearly are supposed to go together, but also just have these things which make them look like they don't belong together. And I think particularly Percy's eyes, from all the other angles, it's an awesome looking train. But then you come to his face and they've just cooked it. The mold is really good. The molding on the face is great, but the eyes are just, or particularly the pupils, are just too big. And then, if, for example, we do a comparison to an All Engines Go Percy, and this is one of the ones from a multi-pack, which is why it doesn't have the wheel printing. Again, you can just see there's a huge difference in size. This one's clearly trying to be a lot more accurate to the TV show. The classic series. This was actually relatively accurate to the All Engines Go one. But even that number, I think, looks less silly than this number. You know, we've got much better coal detailing here versus there. I wonder if, do they have the same running board? I think they do. I think both Percys actually have the same running board, which is interesting. Not the same chassis, but yeah, I think they have the same running board as each other, which is like interesting to note. But yeah, there's just something about this Percy's face that isn't quite right. So in a quick wrap up, what do I think of the brand new Mendel Collection 80th anniversary classic styled pusher long Percy? I think it is a great mold. There's some really good details. The proportions look really good. I think the side rods look quite good on Percy, perhaps even better than Thomas because they don't, run the whole length of his body. But I just think that they've really cooked it up by making his pupils just maybe 20% too large, which makes him look way more cartoonish than what they're clearly going for, given the rest of the design features that they've got. So again, I get the sense that something was going on here. I don't know whether Mattel was rushed or there were multiple design teams that didn't get a proper briefing. Similar to the Trackmaster engines, that it's as if everyone had the same sketches, but they didn't all have the same management teams when they were designing these, which means you have these weird inconsistencies between engines which are clearly meant to be in the same style, which I just think kind of makes it a bit odd. And I really do think that someone, I think someone probably already has, is going to do a replacement face for this Percy, and that is going to make this a phenomenal model. But until that happens, it's all a little bit weird looking. So that's my thoughts on this Percy. Definitely highly recommend you still pick it up, even if it's not necessarily your favorite. Particularly, I think from the side on, he looks great, and you never know, he might warm to me as time passes. I'm not sure, but again, yeah, it's just, I really wanted this Percy to be my favorite one, but those eyes, they're just doing something for me that I don't quite like. But otherwise, look forward to hearing about all your views down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. That's all I got time for. This is Extreme Trains.